I finished getting the One Love post going up to DTube. I have to find the correct working channel so we have an actual live one going up. Please feel free to chat, listen to some tunes. Yeah. 5 minutes while we warm up this live show, guys.
Right.
This is The Dude's collection of tunes. Eclectic ear food, I do believe.
Or no, it's ear food eclectic.
Same shit, different pile.
You can find all the playlists on the SoundCloud profile Ear Food Eclectic. Playlists on the SoundCloud profile.
Okay, there we go. So how do I share a Twitch stream? Here's a new one
You need
for
to
me.
provide
I'm
your
gonna try to
URL.
post a Twitch stream today. Those of you that are watching in, wondering what I'm doing. Here's my full screen. You can see the orchestration in action. Which isn't going to give me a very nice interface for my stream. Let's try Facebook. By the way, guys, we have our own Facebook channel. There we go, that should work. Trying to avoid using YouTube because it gives me a shitty fucking goddamn link to work up that's only available afterwards. Resorting to YouTube. If you wish to help our live show be playable on DTube, please subscribe to our community channel, One Love Community on YouTube. We're trying to break the 1,000 subscribers, and yeah, that's going to take a while. So please subscribe and help us. Should I put a tag for, guys? Community? Yeah, we're doing community. Alrighty.
Okay, welcome everybody to the show. We live in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome, guys. Wonderful day.
What's up? What's up, Dukes?
The One
What's
Love
up,
community stream coming at you today with some talk about the current state of DTube. With us today, co-hosts Anime and Dude, special guest Koala Slippy, Tech Coder, and hopefully Brishtit Evaja. He said he would try show up. So just give everybody a giant mention if you can for me, Dude, and ping Brit as well directly. See if we could get them in here. Tech Quarter chatting in. The more I see this kind of thing, the more we need alive. Eventually, YouTube, hence third-party linking, needs to go. And I did not agree with Tech Coder at first when he first started saying this, probably a good year ago now. I oftentimes have thought that the third-party share would be the thing which drives some sort of originality. Problem being that we've never implemented any sort of user verification, so there's too many ways to circumvent any good behavior with bad behavior. That said, I am still hopeful that something can be devised. And as Tech Coder says, we need to have working means of directly uploading, especially for streamers. Like today, trying to figure out how to get live on DTube. It's a third-party system. I'm piggybacking, even though I have all of the available resources to be able to figure it out. There's no working system yet for fully decentralized streaming, but there will be soon. And that is Tech Coder with us today. Hello, Shuvo. If you join today, you're probably going to get the mute, buddy. Just beware. Serious discussion.
Call of the devil.
So, Tech Coder, if there's anything you wish to lead in on, feel free.
Alright, so today, actually just now, just now, I am currently feeling slightly better about the current state of DTube, as Berg just spoke to me about the whole thing in general. And what happened was that he refunded all the DTubes that was sent to DTube.swap that was not processed, as you can see if you have a look at their announcements. And they have told everyone just to say that the swap gateway is currently not functioning, so just please do not use it until further announcement. And yeah, so at least there is some kind of a communication between me and anyone in the team. And as far as Jaime Danger goes, he has some health-related issues, and he's not able to respond to any of my messages, let alone anybody else. So yeah, that is the current update at the moment.
Well, I feel blessed then, because I have had contact with him on a personal level. So I feel blessed by that. And I actually told him so, and he did say, yeah, he's taking time for personal health-related reasons, and, you guys know I've done that myself, so obviously all I can say is I fully support his decision. And you know, takes a big man to recognize when you need to work on oneself for whatever reason it is. Health, you know, mine is always mental illness, right? So that's its own sort of fucking battle.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well that's great. I mean, you know, Steaminator has been a great person for connecting with since day one, since I've been a leader. I would imagine he would still be the guy to contact about doing DTube dev work and the associated contribution rewards in like GitHub. That's still an option, right? I would imagine.
Yeah, but the thing is that from what I have heard from him, he does not really have any of the DTube keys and things like that, and that is why he has to cover the deposits with his. He has to cover the failed deposits with his own funds at the moment.
Okay, well that's I neglected to understand it was personal funds, so thank you very much, Steaminator, for doing that for everyone. That kind of shows the team's belief in the project itself. Oh, that's big news. So we have a little bit of inside information from the team that things are being adjusted to account for the current state of things. We have team members covering lost funds for users. So now that kind of covers the big concerning factor that's been going on DTube, which is like, where's my money? How do I get my money? And the next question would be around usability. You know, I was hoping we'd have Brish Tit to talk about something he's been working on this week, maybe a little bit, with us yet. So I can try.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I tried pulling up his front end earlier. It doesn't look like he's updated it with anything new. We're still sitting it with just categories. But I believe that our current position actually puts us in a great place to continue these talks on a weekly basis, and be able to come to some understanding of where we're trying to move to. Because a big part that DTube has been faced with is DTube as a team doesn't have a platform to engage the audience, you know, like to engage their user base. It comes through text forms. It's not great for discussion. It ends up at points of accusation. It's an interesting sort of situation that needs someone to take charge, right? So then, as I read on your post talking about the current state of DTube Tech Coder there, it was said that, you know, without a public face of the official team, it's falling to people like myself. And some of us take up the baton, and we may not be as good at taking up that baton as we should be. So that's me admitting my shortcoming. You know, I try hard, but I am just a passionate frickin' user here, guys. We need someone to actually take up that sort of position on DTube team, I do believe. So, what else have we got to discuss for today? The usability. You know, we have several little things that people want to change. You know, we have categories coming. That's in the works. So that can kind of be crossed off the list. We have, for sure, playlists was on there. Like, yes, we're going to do that. It's just a matter of time. Better searching. That's just a matter of time till we could get someone focused on it. The big question mark is, how do we solve the rewards model and the new user onboarding issue? Not the complications that are going on currently with broken features that aren't quite working right, that were working previously, but things that need to be adjusted and corrected, going down to like they don't work officially and it's a bug or something like that. Because like as I see it, the current state with the Facebook linking and stuff not working, that'll be solved. It was working previously. It will be solved eventually. Just a matter of when they get to it. But the big overwhelming question, once we have all these stupid little issues fixed, what the hell do we do to solve the user retention, user onboarding experience, and then the rewards argument over authors? That's my big question mark. Then I figure those are all kind of linked to as well. Anybody want to take the floor, feel free.
Yeah, Duke.
Yeah.
What were you saying earlier? That the transaction was like all freezing at the exit or entry point. Is there like a date that that's going to be fixed or not?
Currently, there's no date. I could bring up the announcement here and read for you what it says. The Ethereum swap gateway is currently not functioning. Please don't use it until further announcement. I sent the funds back to people who have been having issues during last week. We are deeply sorry for the inconvenience and lack of communication. So if you still haven't received any of your funds that are missing, we just got to talk to Steaminator. And he'll sort you out for the time being. I would imagine this would be linked to getting what Hyman Danger hinted at me is Tech Coder in full control of DTube, basically taking place of Hyman Danger for the time being. I'm not sure on a time frame for any of that, whether or not it's going to completely come to fruition. I really do hope it does. But that'll be, once that happens, then we can actually get all these things solved per se. Either that or Hyman Danger magically gets better. And on that note, I pray he magically gets better. Sorry, Shuvo. I muted you for today because we're having a bit of an important meeting, as Anime said there. So just to acknowledge you, I'm not ignoring you. I seen you on the cam there. We're having a bit of a DTube talk. Try get through some of the issues at the end. I'll open it up for everybody's discussion.
So, what could be a next phase? I mean, like, whatever the issues we are facing currently right now, we have to make sure it's not going to be faced one more time. So, what do you guys think? What should be done so that we don't face the same issue currently which we are facing right now, even with the controlling of the DTube swapping issue and also the DTube server accesses or whatsoever. So, how do you think we could fix it in the future? Because we are humans, somewhere or other we could get sick. So what do you guys think? What could be done in the future per se?
You're hinting at the problem of control of a project by one individual, right?
A kind of.
Yeah. And we all don't want to say the word of centralization, but I will. I'll put my foot in my mouth. I've experienced this. I actually have a really good example on the problem that can happen, and you could go see for yourself how it could play out and just have to look at Smoke.io. Hyman Danger himself knows about Smoke.io. and has seen how problematic a chain can be when there's only witnesses left to support it and a few users that use it, and there's no market that it trades on. A project can exist but actually have no value, and nobody knows any wiser until they start selling tokens and get upset about it. Now, how do we solve that? Well, the problem is that the GitHub was in control of one individual. That was the fundamental issue, is GitHub is controlled by one individual on Smoke.io, or one little collective of individuals that broke up. Those individuals then aren't active on the GitHub, so the individual parties that controlled different aspects. One person controlled Discord community, another person controlled the GitHub permissions to submit code, the other person controlled the finances. I think there was actually 5 people. Another person controlled the domain, and the Cloudflare, and then someone else actually had all the server stuff. So they, if I'm not mistaken, when they set up their little group, they did it to try decentralize the keys so there is no single point of failure. But what happened there is any one point failing became a complete point of failure because there is no backup. So like the founder of Smoke.io, Smoker, disappeared. We all made assumptions. I mean, some of us were thinking he was getting locked up in jail or he died. Okay, I'm going to mute you, Anime.
Oh.
So, him having disappeared off the face of the earth left us in a place where we haven't been able to submit any code for the last 2 years, and we've had people stop by, try to develop things, disappear. Yeah, no worry, Tech Coder. Just yell at us when you come back and you have something to say. So, if the developer that controls the GitHub or any of these important aspects of a project disappears, then it is like a situation that there should be like a kill switch, or what's that? Dead man switch. I've recently set one up, so I have a dead man switch on all my keys, like all of my important information. I have a couple people I dump it to, the One Love guys, my father. So with information of what the hell to do with all this shit too, because like my dad will get an email with all my fucking crypto stuff and have no idea what the hell to do with it. So some regards I have like this switch set up to like send the information, so if I ever disappear off the face of the earth one day, you know, I know that One Love community is going to get the keys that are needed, including my personal information keys, how to get a hold of my investments to make use of them, to people within the community that I fully trust. But it ends up having to be a system of fully trusting. So how do we solve the issue in a decentralized way? You know, like, I'm not really sure that there currently is one in place that works, but it would be creating a team that you trust to be able to equally control the project, or devising the system then that makes the stakeholders and leaders the ones in control of the project through consensus. You know, like a proposal system. You know, like if DTube gave up all of its stake to a proposal system, that would be a huge commitment to community development. Like, just as like an example, you know, I don't know what is actually, I'm a theorist here. I don't know what is actually financially possible, what is within reason. Don't you think if DTube gave up like a chunk of its whatever to a proposal system for DTube development, and we actually had the voting system in place to be able to like decide, okay, we're going to move on this and we're going to set this much of a bounty for this sort of development, and then, you know, you have the developer come in and commit to doing it, and then once the developer commits the changes go live on the chain, then people can say, you know, okay, hard fork, whatever went live, and then everybody can decide if it's accepted and Buddy gets fucking paid. You know, like, it seems kind of straightforward to me, but I mean, don't you think that would kind of allow the development to happen in that way that we're looking for?
I think we better hear it from TechCoder. TechCoder, what do you think?
He'll be back in a minute. And to continue that thought about, you were asking about how to solve the problem of the current state. And I would imagine the current state being that our leader has disappeared more so than anything relevant to the development. Because the development is less so current and more so ongoing than current. How do you create a system that allows for no one person to be in complete control, right? That's the big question.
Can we follow the protocol which internet service provider uses as the DNS way, where you know, there is a private key and public keys for the internet, right? You do know that, right? Yeah. So how the private key and public key for the internet works is that private keys will be are handed over for 5 people over the internet, and 5 of them are in different countries, and they need to access their keys to make any of the huge chunky changes of the software or whatsoever. Maybe, you know, when we could set up the same kind of a thing, but for the accesses. So splitting up the, you know, whatever the development, even whatever the development we do is not completely, you know, a quick. We don't be pushing the code every single day or every single hour. We might need the permissions for you know, within once in a month or twice in a month, not every day kind of a schedule, because most of the things are automated. You know, we don't need accesses for the swapping because it's automated until unless we face an issue with the server. So what can be done is we already not actually using the voting system from the DTube leaders for making any actions or changes. So hopefully we can store the accesses for the servers, not directly giving for the, you know, 1, 2, 3 leaders. We can actually log the access points somewhere within the you know, portal or a protocol or a, you know, hard key, or a, you know, we use Monero for sending a navigational messages, right? So we are not actually using the DTube comment system kind of a per se. So we can add a signature kind of a thing, and we hopefully we have a 13 leaders currently right now. So maybe we can give a vote per se, somewhat like we need a minimum like 6 votes from the leaders, so that one single user can get an access for the logins if they wanted any making of the changes. We can't expect all 12 leaders for giving access, because all the 12 leaders should be active at that point of a time. But contacting with the 6 leaders will be okay and easier way to handle. Somewhat like if they wanted accesses for making changes like after a week, so that they can push in the code or a bug update or something like that. We can just write a proposal for accessing keys for a one single user who is making proposals, and if everyone verified it, so we can add a proposal way and give a voting within that time, so that he could get access at that point. So maybe we could utilize that thing, because we currently doesn't operate the voting system yet, but we have to set it up right now anyway. So
Yeah, tried to write your idea out best I could. store/log public/private keys within chain for DTube accesses. Creating system of leaders to agree and give access equals fully decentralized project via proposals. You could write fancy words in there, but I think that gets the concept across.
Yeah.
Just to log some basic ideas as we're going. Yeah,
I mean, like we can't actually ask the leaders every time to. I mean, like we have a kind of a voting system, I think, but it's in the GitHub code, and whoever running the nodes has to agree the proposal by logging in the servers. It's kind of a, we'll never know how our servers are functioning, right? So if the proposal portal is set up to whatever the functions we have to handle, that could be a better scenario for the users. And as we talked, as a smoke.io per se, it could happen to us also. So because we can't decentralize the GitHub, but at the same time we have to decentralize our system, and in the future we have to make sure these errors doesn't happen. We already have enough troubles. We don't want new ones to show up every time. So
yeah.
We have to work with it. I mean, like in the future also we have to make it happen, and we are already currently working on the few of the systems of failure points. So after we fix it, at least we have to think about solving this. This would be a future problem. It's gonna be show up sometime or other, rather than waiting for that time. So we already facing it now, fixing it, making things happen now to fix it for future use would be quite a bit comfortable, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. It'll rest a lot of people's minds at ease too, having this most recent little situation. No blame going out. I mean, this is the life of crypto projects. I can't even count how many now that we've seen come and go, and most of the times not anything relevant to the person's efforts or beliefs or the vision for the project, but the frickin' market takes them down. God damn it. So we need to embrace and brace ourselves for the coming downturn. I do believe knocking off some of these issues will be one thing that helps retain investor confidence, especially seeing how in the face of unrest we rally to get together. We're, for the most part, One Love community is just a small segment of what DTube is. I need to express that a little bit. One Love is not the end-all be-all of all DTube. We are a community. We're One Love community. We started as One Love DTube, and we just wish to inspire the leaders a place to communicate amongst each other. Oftentimes we find that the communication, the discussion could take days upon days, waiting for people to chime in. And it could be a very simple discussion that, as everyone in one place could agree upon it in 5 minutes versus having to track them down, try relay context through text messages. If we have people come together and sit down and talk, oftentimes the confusion goes away and we can come to an agreement or a disagreement a lot faster. Which then means if we come to a disagreement a lot faster, we can run through the process of coming to agreement on something a lot quicker. Because there is always a neutral place of agreement in everything. And that's what we're trying to find, is where I want, 100% account verification only for third-party posting. Tech Coder says third-party posting one day needs to be removed. You know, like right there, we have 2 leaders that need to come to agreement, and that's only 2 leaders within the One Love community. You know, now we're not even talking about the rest of them. You know, that's not PRC, that's not Tib Fox, that's not Don't Call Me Now, that's not, you know, the other consensus leader. That's just 2 leaders of the One Love community that don't agree. So there is discussion that needs to happen.
Okay, let's see. Are you there, Takoda?
Is he back?
He did undefend himself, hopefully.
Okay, well.
I think the thing is we can actually remove the YouTube thingy, but only thing I just wanted is that if we are removing it, we need some of the other product so that we can push in somehow. See, as a DTube, what as a Prestige is already trying to do is he's trying to make a decentralized Insta thingy, the social platform, but using with DTube as a commodity or DTube as a valuable coin within the Avalon and stuff. So we can use the same thing, but we can use that short video platform. But the thing is, the endpoint has to, the DTube APIs has to support the endpoint sake. So that the short video platform, everyone knows the short videos always work. It could be a funny, or it could be unfunny, or it could be a cringe-worthy videos. So if the endpoints of receiving API by creating accounts, like for creating accounts and for posting, and allowing the third party to store the keys for the users. In that sake, we can even push the data into even we can ask users to push the data directly from their within apps, and it would be a short video platform that videos will be pushed into the DTube network also, and even the DTube will be able to see the new users punching in some content, and it will also help the DTube to fully load off the content which we are lacking of. Even that will help the content per se, and also increase the viewer numbers, and also somehow it will hopefully make sure that people are mostly engaging in the content, and it will also fix up the putting in the money or getting the coins which we are missing. We can they will fix that for us, right? I mean, like if we couldn't able to find a flat system, we'll work in our ways, let them find it their own ways. We won't be having any problems with it until unless they find it their own way, because they are getting the flat currency converted into DTube and spreading it to their platform users. Some way or the other, one issue would be resolved. So hopefully that could also get into the DTube system.
So like a direct fiat exchange, that's what you were saying?
I mean, like, if the APIs allow currently the issue is the DTube is creating the I mean, like, as a DTube account is creating the accounts for the users for us, right? Whenever we are creating accounts, but DTube didn't create any APIs for the creation because to avoid spam. But if some of the products or products want to be built on within the DTube, the still DTube has to create an API accesses for the product so that they can create it. I mean, like, at least they can push the account creation. At the same way, the product will be working on, if the product works out fine, the thing we are working on currently is what we need to make sure some of the other way to make a flat currency into the DTube, make sure that DTube purchase easier rather than going for Ether or something. Ether and other will be okay by doing the swap system, but we need a flat currency at the same time. And also we need to get a new creators hopped in and the boosting of the DTube economy. And when people wanted to create a products top of the DTube, and if they wanted economy to be built in connected to the DTube, because it's already system is already ready. Only thing is the API point should be permitted for the DTube, so that whenever the app users create an account, the data will be posted and the DTube will be creating account, and information of the keys will be stored. Because we already faced the keys issue because we are a century of 3.0 web users. We need to make sure the 2.0 web users also have a easy accesses with the using of the passwords. So
Yeah.
most of the issues could be fixed with the new products if anyone wants to make it happen. Because the Bridge is already working on the social SEO, social kind of a YouTube network in an app based. So if the API system works in the favor, same could happen for the other video platforms or platform which could be built on Avalon and a DTube.
Alrighty. I think I got you now. You need an API to be able to build on top of Avalon. That's what it is.
Yeah.
To enable all that stuff. Alright,
Yeah.
so that's easy.
Yeah.
Now I know Brishtit is working on a Instagram style app that's built on top of Avalon. So there must be some he's probably going straight to chain, isn't he? Not API. He's probably pulling straight from chain.
Yeah.
Tech Coder would be the guy to chime in about API, since he has an upcoming Alive protocol fork eventually. I think it's posted to be reviewed already.
Hopefully we get some beta access.
You're ready to join us, Tech Coder. We are ready for your presence, buddy.
Alright, let's see. I was looking at some other stuff. Let's see if I can share my screen, provided if my computer doesn't lag too much. What is streaming 7? Let's do 15 FPS because. Alright. Can you guys see the app? Alright, so
Looks
this
good.
would be the main welcome screen of the app, a live decentralized live streaming on Hive and Avalon. And this will definitely be shown to users that have just installed the app, but I think it will be something else if it is a returning user. So get started. As always, Alive is supported on Hive and Avalon. So let me try to let's try Avalon, and let's see. I might have to stop because I need to.
Got it.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no worries. Hide your keys.
stop streaming. Yeah. So let's see.
Shout out the private key outside.
Yeah. Share again. All right. So here it is. This is the development testnet that I have currently running on the other computer on my network here. So I'm just gonna click on login, and currently the pin system and the persistent storage doesn't work right now. So I can So just enter a random 4-digit PIN, and here it is. So this is basically the dashboard. It doesn't really have anything yet, but it's roughly how it will look like. It will show the balance, but it doesn't really work right now, as well as the available bandwidth or the resource credits depending on which network you log in with. The create stream, which currently I had to do a bit of work due to the upgrade from Qt5 to Qt6, and it changed a bunch of stuff with the UI elements. So I have to work on quite a bit regards to this, and the rest are basically it. So yeah, this is a streamer a Qt app written in Python and QML.
That looks pretty simple, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that is pretty much it for now. I have not really put together the CLI stuff, the actual thing that makes it work and stuff like that. So that will have to be worked on.
Will there be a
That'll all come
stream
in
key
time.
accesses?
What do you mean?
Like a stream key currently for the platforms? Yeah.
You can generate custom keys for Avalon that is specifically for pushing stream, for ending stream, and for configuring the stream, as well as the AliveDB, the AliveDB key for the moderation account and things like that. But for the RTMP, it is not really in my mind to implement it right now because of the way that it currently works at the core daemon, as all it really does is to listen for new TS segments, HLS TS segments, upload it to IPFS or Skynet, and publish it to either GunDB off-chain or Hive or Avalon. So if I can find the adapter for the local RTMP server, then I could implement it on the app itself. But so far, I can't really test it out yet.
I mean,
Oh,
like,
that would be interesting.
I'm just asking it because most of the streamers would be kind of bit into the computer streamings for the most of the game, and app-based users would be could be for the visiting places and travels and blogs. The most mobile users would be mostly for the travels and blogs, and even if they wanted to stream the games from the mobiles, they need to have a custom API, stream keys and stream URL. So that's why I'm just asking about.
Yeah, that could be a potential issue due to some centralization concerns, as it is technically not possible for all that to be done on a mobile device. So somebody would definitely have to run our TMP servers for Alive, which isn't really what I actually want, but unfortunately, it might have to be the case going forward. So Alive on mobile, if you check out the roadmap, which I don't really have it up right now, I'll drop the link later.
Drop the link.
You can see that the mobile app and a bunch of other stuff is in the long-term roadmap. So the mobile support is not being ignored right now. It's just in the long-term roadmap.
Got it.
What's the URL? I'm browsing the GitHub right now.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me pull that up. Projects, live, copy address. There you go.
Oh. There we go. I'll figure out GitHub one day. That's what I got you for, Tech.
Yeah.
He just laughs at me. He's like, God damn it, Dookie.
Yeah.
I mean it is just a pretty standard project board that can be created on a repository level, on organization level, yeah, where you kind of organize whatever project that you're working on and things like that.
I really
So,
should learn how to do this for all of the random stuff we got going on for One Love. As a community, now we're starting to build out everywhere. It'd be nice to, like, you got check boxes and you could actually, like, pending and the whole 9 yards. I like this.
Yeah, this is just like how organizations do their project management stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I started, you remember, what was the name of CG Bartow's little project? I can't remember now. He started a web page and he was trying to build out the Steam version of this, actually, through WordPress connected to the Steam blockchain. Basically, community organizations being able to mark down, check it off, but all linked into actual actions. So you could, like, put up a post and link that with your target. It'd be an interesting project in the future. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. It looks awesome. I'm super stoked about this Alive project, dude. I really am. The chat bot will be an interesting thing, an experience for DTubers, because you were saying that should be able to incorporate in other ways into the platform as well. Not just into...
Yeah, but that possibly might have to be done in a more centralized way because of how the APIs kind of work with different chat services.
Okay, so we got our first question for today. YouTube Yesin asking about voting power and payout. Now this is a question that has been raised by quite a few people in the main DTube Discord. It's actually kind of a concerning thing and gets back to one of the earlier topics I had brought up, and that was the rewards model of DTube. So what Yesin says, I noticed that when I vote 200,000 VP, it was seen that 14/15 DC comes, meaning he's getting that sort of reward. And if I vote for the same VP, then I see 4 to 7 DTC comes. What is the reason for this? Now he's referring to seeing votes before him, voting with the same amount of voting power afterwards, and not getting the same amount of reward. It is all time-based. Now I'll pull up my screen so I can give an example. When you vote on content, there is a payout graph, basically. As you're going across, at the beginning, the rewards model starts down at the bottom, going to about an hour, it peaks out, and then it comes back down and slowly tapers off over time. And that is the peak of rewards to author or votes before you. So when you're posting, you vote right at the beginning, so you get the most going to basically the curators that come after you, per se. But over time, as that goes towards the hour mark, you are earning more from that vote of curators that have followed you. Then, as it tapers off over time, that then goes back to the curator, per se. But there's more to it than that, whereas if you're voting really, really late, your vote actually has very little value to yourself. It all goes to the person before you. So it's not ideal, for sure, to follow big votes. I can give you an example on my post. It'll load for me. Go to I tend to vote myself pretty frickin' big. A 422k VP, which means I stole, even though I believe Hotman came after me within an hour. He only got 3.71 DTC, right? One Love DTube.
Not on screen.
Oh. Thank you. One too many buttons. So Hotman
And
came in with a pretty big vote.
I got all blurred. Is that me or that you?
About blurt? I'm showing DTube.
Yeah, but I can't see a word on your screen. It's just blurred. I can see something is written, but I can't see the words.
Quality's coming
Is that
through too
my
low?
connection then?
Yeah, it's probably your connection. Your quality's getting bumped down to keep you connected.
Okay, sorry to interrupt, mate.
No worries. General idea. The outgoing stream will have good quality. But you can see that my vote is massive. I get 46 DTC because I came in right at the very beginning, being the author of the post. I'm always going to get the most of the rewards being first, based on the VP I use, because I used a massive chunk of VP. Even the One Love community, which came in before Hotman, made more at 7.7 DTC than Hotman did when he used 279 VP, or KVP. So Hotman used more VP, earned less reward, and that's all based on time. So because he voted so much after everybody else, his vote went to reward the people before him. And I think that's what YouTube Yesin is touching on. It's actually 24 hours. Oh, I thought it was an hour. It's a 24-hour arc. That coder saying 24 hours. I believe he's telling me it's a 24-hour arc, not an hour-long arc in the rewards model. I don't know the details. I just know that's how it works. Vote early, vote big, vote wise. That's the rule to use. The earlier you vote, the better off you are. If you see someone you love post 5 minutes ago, smash a massive vote on it, especially if you know DTube votes them regularly. You know, like that's as simple as, you know, someone could put it. If you know my vote is going to be coming soon, get your vote in now. And I'm going to unmute Anime. I just remembered that your server muted still here, buddy. Sorry. We were getting crunching or something from you.
So, tech coder is still there.
Okay, here's the official release. Starts off at 75% at minute 0, peak at 100% at hour 24, slowly decline to 50% until 7 days and remains at 50% indefinitely. All right. So there you go. So as a curator, you want to get your vote in as early as possible. There's no really trying to beat the rewards model, is there? I don't think you could play a gambling game if you wanted, I would imagine. But I still think the early, big and wise rule set for us by Hira Sigma. Shout out to Hira Sigma. Thank you very much for that catchphrase, buddy. In short, Yesin, that is correct. It is all about time of vote. Anybody that comes later is kind of SOL in some regards. But how do we change this model? It's been... Here is Tech Coder's proposal. See what this says. Oh, it's the tipping option. Yes, that will greatly help new users, I believe. And provide people a direct way, if you provide them the tools to tip someone directly with their VP versus coins from Pocket, I believe it'll stimulate the economy a little bit that way. Even SK Zap here, that's Hyman Danger. He noted that it's hard for minnows to earn their first DTC with curation rewards. I believe I reviewed this on a previous stream. In short, he's just saying use it as a tip. Converting VP into a tip to the person before you or author of post. How exactly it's done, I don't really care, as long as there's a way to donate your VP from a vote to the people you're voting on in a direct manner instead of having to vote and then go and pay them a tip out of your wallet. It's the extra steps for me that I'll do the vote and I'll be like, oh, I'll get back to that. Maybe someone will come in with a curation vote. And then it's when I'm going through claiming, I'll smash claim and I'm like, oh God, I got like 13 people I got to go send some rewards to. Whereas if that was just that vote, problem solved. I feel like I should be doing like narration here for like a sports event.
Can we make the access decentralized? Technically, no. As the way it is, for the 5 servers, 4 of them are hosted at Google Cloud, and one of it is the storage and IPFS upload server, which is in OVH, the 40 terabyte server. And I can't really think of a way to kind of like do that, making access decentralized. There's just really no way to control who has permission over what. I mean, there's only up to whatever that Linux allows you to do with their so-called file permission system. But beyond that, there's really no way. The only way we can do is to clone their entire infrastructure, run all of them ourselves. And I
What do you
believe
think about Filecoin architecture system?
Regarding Filecoin, from what I have read in the documentation, their system requirements is insanely high. I mean, to set up like a pretty basic node that maybe exchanges use to interact with the wallet and things like that to be able to transact, you need to have like a 32 gigs of RAM, 8 cores, Ryzen CPU just to be able to handle the chain. And when it comes to minor nodes, there is a 256 gig server, like a 64 core CPU, like server grade GPU, which is definitely a huge mess right now. A couple terabytes of super expensive SSDs. It's just no way that Filecoin is scalable. But when it comes to Skynet on Seer, that is an interesting one as it has much lower requirements. It is definitely focused on UX, which means that it is much easier to use and interact with. So that could be a potential kind of way to look into.
Seems like Filecoin is creating a cyber attack kind of a thing. The configuration is too much high then.
Yeah,
Jesus.
the system requirements of running a bare bones Filecoin node, just to compare, is higher than what it needs to run a Hive node. And I believe
Wow.
someone is echoing.
That is insane.
It's like South Korea is setting up a cyber warriors and then it's that's how the setup configuration looks like to me.
Yeah.
The only thing we are working, we just wanted is that we just wanted to make sure facing which doesn't happen again. And yeah, I agree that AM Danger is not a person of a staff and a staff kind of a thing, but we need to make sure it look at least a kind of organized some way or the other.
A presentation of a staff presence, even if with backups, people to fall back upon. Obviously, like, okay, we can look to, as an example, we could look to TechCoder, Steaminator, and Bird Inc. as the leaders of DTube. And if any one point fails, we know one of the other 3 points is secure with options in some manner. Even if it's just a word from the DTube team that, yes, we have solved this problem and we are prepared to move into the future, addressing all issues, something silly like that. Like me, I got a dead man switch. One Love community leader has a dead man switch, guys. That means if I drop off the face of the earth, Graylin, my dad, and TechCoder get all my information. Like something like that. That's what I'm thinking.
So recently what I thought is, so I just use Brave so that I don't face, when I don't want to see ads, I use Brave, but mostly I use the Chrome and Firefox because I love the servers taking cookies and provide me the content which I don't need to mostly search for. So when I checked into the Brave, I see that DTube is verified as a publisher. So I thought, okay, what can be? I thought, why can't we make sure DTube users could also be a verified publishers? Because we currently, as mentioned in the DTube thing, yeah. So as the paper, as when I read it, we just don't want to see ads, but we thought if users wanted to see ads, we can look into it later some way or the other. So what I seen in the publisher network of Brave is that they are already working on providing the ads for the publisher within the publisher network. It's in the kind of beta testing. They didn't release it for a lot of people. So even allowing the users to be as a publishers, if they could able to sign up, at least we can even the Brave is also one of the browser who wanted to encourage the products which are in the decentralized. So I don't know who to actually contact. So I just myself wrote an email for a publisher network. I mean, like, I'm just waiting for the response if something shows up. So if there is a specific team I could look into, I can just ask them to send the email from themselves, because it's looks weird when you send an email from a Gmail account, and it would looks quite a bit professional when an email sent from at the rate of D.tube. It makes a complete makes a difference. So hopefully DTube team could look into it and hopefully enable publisher accounts, some way verification for the publisher account, so that we can endorse the Brave. And if people wanted to allow the ads within the DTube for single user within themselves, hopefully the Brave team will be taking hand, and we don't need to work on the code or whatnot stuff, because Brave is already trying to work on it. So what do you think, Codex?
I like that one. What does our big man have to say?
Like,
I don't know how
actually
complicated it would be, though.
I mean, like, if they're verifying the websites with just a code, with a header and a code, it's like 4 lines something, and it's not they're approving the websites, and they're making sure YouTube, they're doing it for the YouTube. So if they're doing it for the YouTube, why not DTube?
Yeah.
And some things they are already doing it for a Twitch users and a DTube. So I think we can, even if those things are happening, why wouldn't it happen for a DTube? They just want it, so I can
I'm
actually
just looking at this. Brave is verified, so, or DTube is verified with Brave, so I'd imagine it's just a matter of whatever their code is to implement a creator level. So instead of the channel saying donate to DTube, it'll say donate to the DTube user.
specific user. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. That's a very good idea.
Not too sure. It depends on whether the team is really willing to implement that or not. Like, it is more on the Brave side.
Yeah.
I mean, like, at least we need to show us, hey, we are also still there. I'm like, we need to push it from our end something. I'm like, it's like, as we are trying to provide DTube as a network of a decentralized network of video streaming site, we are need to put our head forward to get it at least noticed. So at least we have to do that, right? I mean, like, it's in the behalf, it's in the decision of yes, of course, it's in the decision of the Brave, but we need to let us know that hello, we are there. Would you like to try us? We need to put that front of head, right? So
Yeah, but the problem we currently have right now is actually the reputation of the platform as a whole, and as due to all the miscommunication that is happening. If you look into all the DTube Discord general chat and all that, it just looks like it's not in a very good state right now. And also, if you look at the comment section of my latest video, you can basically see the same thing. So
I mean, like,
the reputation part is like the most important that we really have to work on and fix ourselves as leaders. We just have to show that the DTube team, the creators of the platform, is not in like the full control of the platform, such that it is not another centralized site that is like disguising as that. So that kind of a reputation will have to be fixed. And that is likely going to take quite a lot of time, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tech Coder. We have damaged our reputation, not on our choice or anything, but yeah, big props on that video you put out. I think you handled that very well, and it takes a strong person to put themselves in the position that you did to take that heat, and that is the correct first step to address the problem. And then from there, we start discussing how to solve it. So you think the first step to solving the rewards and economic arguments is the tipping feature. But what about new users?
The economics is another kind of part of the problem, as it's one of the many complaints that is currently out there about the distribution of the DTube token. So that's one step, as well as the onboarding. That is a difficult puzzle to solve, as like there's no delegation, unlike on Steam and Hype, that you can potentially use. So which means that like it is not easy to just say let's give a new user some voting power and some bandwidth, and yeah. But I might have an idea about doing this kind of operation at account creation. It is kind of a similar issue that has been made on the Avalon repo on it is called new accounts starting with resources, but in addition to that, it is like a one-time transfer, lifetime of resources like VP or bandwidth to the new account right from the start. But I'm not too sure whether this can potentially be abused, because this could create a separate issue, which lead to the fact that there is no such thing as a delegation in the first place.
Yeah, that is our big concerning issue. Is for everything we create, we come up with ways that someone could abuse it, particularly developers with a little bit too much time on their hands can figure out how to break just about anything. I really like the idea Koala Slippy put forward of it would have to come from like the DTube account, and it would be like a front end built kind of thing that would walk you through the process of taking actions on the platform and then claiming rewards for those actions, just kind of like Libri. If you open up Libri, you go to your rewards page, there's like subscribe to so many people, do this, do that, earn rewards. It could potentially be abused, but if you make it something that can only be clicked on through the web page and not be an API call that is allowed to happen from external or something. You know, a little catch-22 in there to make it that extra complicated. I don't know if that's possible. You know, can you create an action that can only happen on the web page and not through a bot command? Is that possible?
That could be possible with a CAPTCHA, but I'm not sure whether this could potentially be exploited, as you have probably seen the sign up being abused, even though there's a CAPTCHA over there. So I'm not very sure about that.
Okay, well, let's forget the automation. What if we drop it down to leader approval? You know, we vote our leaders into consensus. You know, a leader should not be someone that just sits there and idly minds blocks. You know, that's not the point of a leader. A leader is supposed to be active within the platform. So let's give them some power. Why not make the rewarding a voting mechanism determined by leaders? So like you got your incentive to go out and do your actions, you know, however many votes, you get a VP incentive from DTube. We give the authority to the leaders. Okay, I've done those actions, blah, 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 blah. Now leaders can review, say, yes, I approve that he's done it, or no, I approve that or disapprove that he has. You know, best 3 out of 5 kind of wins. Who fucking knows? I'm not smart when it comes to that stuff. But I see the ability to create a decentralized system, you know, for us to reward new users and putting the power back on the people that are, you know, putting the duty back on the people that are in power already, rather than trying to create a system that could be abused. You know, like me as a leader, if I had that authority, I have that authority on whale shares to create new accounts, and I check often, approve, disapprove accounts. It takes me two minutes, you know, to open it up and do my witness duty. That's my witness duty. So if I had a DTube leader duty, open up and approve new accounts, open up and verify that they've gone through their goals, that they've made their achievements, and reward them, I would do it daily. You know, it'd only take a couple minutes, basically.
Yeah, so it is what I would say is that the leaders is a decent solution to kind of solve this abuse issue, the thing. And what we can potentially do is then make use of the unclaimed airdrops funds. Just make use of some of that supply and maybe put it in a multi-signature Avalon account that currently doesn't really exist right now, as there's really no, as Avalon doesn't really support multi-signature accounts at the moment, but we could potentially add that feature on Avalon. So we will kind of have a multi-signature account, maybe have at least like 3 out of or 4 out of 5 leaders who have to sign the transaction to actually approve. So it will have to come into an agreement.
Yeah. And that would essentially be our proposal system that multi-sig would allow for proposals on anything. You know, we want to build out proposals for development, we want to build out proposals for new user things, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, but it is really far from what it's being like a DHF kind of thing, as as we all know on Hive, there's quite a lot of drama regarding the DHF that we just don't want to bring onto Avalon.
Yeah, I do know that the drama, the politics are a killer. And as we've seen, EOS is a good example. EOS is a fucking great example of circle jerking handshakes and under the table deals to remain in control of the chain. You look into it, there's tons of it, and it seems to be accepted. So that is a multi-sig problem, I do believe.
Did you get the access to use the voice service? The product they launched?
Which voice service?
EOS, as Duke is talking. No, I'm just asking Duke, did he check out the service of a voice? The US released the social media kind of a thing called voice, right? So.
No, I didn't. I didn't at all.
I got it on. Did you get the permissions? What's the question?
Yeah, I'm on voice, guys. Here you go.
Voice? When did you get the access of? Okay,
I got voice. Oh, hey, that's creepy. Look, you can see my camera. As soon as you open up voice, look at that. You can see the activity of my camera going. I'm going to put that on full screen. Okay, so here I got proof right here that when you open up the voice app, it is watching you. I haven't posted anything. I haven't really looked at it yet. But let's see, will it show it? Oh, no. Gotta open it up again. But this is something that I've been wondering about.
Face.
You see the flash?
I think it's a sensor.
That is. See, now if I put it down, it sees my face. It stops flashing. But if I put it up, it loses my face and starts flashing. How fucked up is that?
Wow.
It's recognizing when I'm paying attention to the screen.
And I don't think it's open source either. Definitely.
It did not ask for that permission. I did not give it permission to use my camera yet. Okay, so write note your idea. Multi-sig account / economy with leaders signing trans to approve. Now you said using the unclaimed airdrop rewards. Or I'll just say new user incentives. Working that out for like a developmental process, proposals would be great as well. That'll be a big kind of thing to figure out on its own. But the new user, biggest issue, reputation. We've kind of fucked ourselves a little bit. Second issue is the reason why we have that reputation issue, which is the user retention, which is the main underlying issue of function of the platform. And when people arrive, that they can do things and then they can't do anything without making a DTC purchase, multiplied by the fact that right now our one gateway is down. So I do believe now would be the time, if any, to try build some sort of incentive system. Yeah. How exactly? I'm not sure. I can envision lots of ways of building the actual process. You know, like, okay, a user arrives on the platform, they get their original information, So the first thing you'd probably want to do is tell them to set their account up, which then is going to use some of their VP or whatever they're banned with. But if they actually take that first step and put in a profile image, put in this, that, and the other thing, and link their Hive account, give them a small reward for linking a Hive account, a small reward for linking their Steam account, then that's like almost like saying verifying themselves in a way. Allow them next step, be like, introduce yourself, make a post and introduce yourself to the community. And then again, come back and everybody agrees, okay, they've done that step. They've now introduced themselves. Yeah, they made that step. Let's give them a couple DTC and some VP. So now they can post, plus they've actually earned a reward already. And then that reward is generating further VP. And it kind of becomes a quick ball of doing activities to gain DTube. But when I look at other projects, there is this like agreed upon line. How much coin are you willing to distribute to the potential of misuse? That's kind of the layer you've got to address when you're thinking about new users on platforms like these. I joined Vid. Vid gave me a referral program. Through that referral program and the 5 devices I now have 30,000 Vid in my account. That 30,000 Vid is worth like $40, and that's just for signing up. Fraudulently signing up accounts, because I'm testing their system, to be completely honest. As well as getting active. I'm using 2 of those accounts. One's me, one's Camdog. Point being, yeah, going on. You've got things to do, buddy?
You asking Techie?
Yeah. He says, there it goes. Time to be overwhelmingly busy
something.
with dev implementation again.
Real dev.
This is what happens when I'm the only real dev on an entire website. Yes, tech coder. We need to...
More dev contributors.
How about this? We need you to have the ability to empower other developers through rewards. How about that one? Or us to be able to empower developers through rewards. That will help you on that aspect. As long as there's people.
That is really only in the hands of the DTube team, as they are the only ones that have the budget to hire developers to make things happen. And you know what? And you know what they are actually looking for a dev for a DTube mobile app. They are still looking for one. The last time I asked Jaime Major a couple of days ago, they are still looking for one. So if anyone interested, just please let them know.
Well, I can tell you what I have come across in my searches. Now, if DTube outwardly states a dollar figure, someone will show up for the job. Without doing so, you won't get a response per se. Now, I have received response from someone who is willing to do social media management for DTube. YouTube, Facebook, the chains, Twitter, PublishOX, LinkedIn, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I think he was asking about $750 a month, spending 4 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that was something that came back to me as a response. That was in Pado. Bird Inc.'s friend, Impato365. I told him to go contact Steaminator and run his idea past him. I hope that he does so, but like for
At,
you
I mean, like
really
at least
to
we
get
need
a
to put
dollar
it in the
figure.
medium or whatever the social accounts we are currently running. Hey, how are you doing? We're allowing contributors. Some announcement kind of a thing, or a video based, or we are expecting for a few developers for the DTube team or whatsoever. If you are okay with it, we need some kind of a announcement or a blog kind of a thing, not just talking between each other. The videos which we are making right now would be reaching 10 to 15 people, and we'll be posting in a Hive and something. But we do know that a Hive and a Steamit, we have a lot of followers in the Hive and the Steamit. So if we push it in a video base and also contextual base in the both of the mediums and whatever the social mediums we have, I think we could see at least a response from some of the few people.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Projecting the message.
Yeah, I mean, like I can do some shady things, but it won't last well. So
Yeah. And I do believe fundamentally, especially for this, it'll have to come from like an official outlet. If DTube, say as an example, let's get Tib Fox, who's the current face of DTube, and
show us the face.
Me being the competitor face of DTube as the community that won't give up. Let's say you got both of us to produce videos and we put them on our private channels. It wouldn't look as a representation of the platform versus if we got those put onto the official DTube channel. I would feel confident speaking on behalf of DTube if I knew that DTube was to put my video on their channel. So then we could reach for that sort of like, hey man, I'm just a regular frickin' dude in One Love DTube community over here doing my goddamn thing. You developers over there, we want to support you. So like, come check out our proposal system. Like, let's get involved. We've got like, we're putting out $5,000 for whoever's going to create our mobile app. These are the requirements we have, guys. This is what we want to see met. If you're interested, look here for further details. Contact this person. And like, I know people that could make a mobile app that would probably do everything we want in no time flat. The problem is to get their attention requires huge dollar figures. Now we need to find the people that are just entering that niche, like Tech Coder was when he landed in One Love DTube. He was just finding his niche in development in IPFS and learning all of that, expanding, and look at everything that he's built out since. Like, he knew a lot about software and all of that before landing in One Love, but that niche refine thing kind of came through landing here. So I'd imagine it'd be a similar thing for DTube if we could just project a message to bring in some developers, and obviously dollars bring in developers. Well, it was a pretty goddamn good discussion today, guys. We got some good ideas. Obviously, Tech Coder getting distracted as Mr. DTube now. I'm just gonna call you Mr. DTube. Tech Coder X is Mr. DTube.
I'm just I'm just cashing out my Brave rewards today after 2 years.
And I'm definitely getting paid for being like the so-called Mr. DTube. I'm definitely getting paid by them. So
okay, good. Well, you can put some of that towards the community for me, since I don't get nothing. I actually prefer it that way. I'm sure you understand. I prefer to stay separate. I would rather not get a paycheck because then I'm handcuffed to what I can say and do.
You can't download my videos. You wanna hear now. But I can.
So let's call it here for today. That's the One Love stream, everybody. Development talk. Thank you guys. It's been awesome. Dude and Anime, your excellent co-host, staying silent today. And Koala. And Slippy. We got TechCoder X, our special guest. Fellow DTube leaders, don't forget to vote them. And now, your big man, Mr. DTube, TechCoder X. I'm not going to let that go.
Any last words, Mr. TechCoder X?
Not really.
Say something spicy.
I just can't really come up with anything. I apologize.
Sure, the Mr. YouTube face. Sorry, Mr. DTube face.
Yeah, we need a face for Mr. DTube. Come on, TechCoder. I'll bring you up widescreen.
What's the face?
Go watch my latest video.
We did try, all right. Because we are already getting a questions on Reddit and other stuff. We need to answer them. We already want the tries to make sure we don't screw up with the answers though.
Mr. DTube is the mysterious X in brackets. Yeah, sorry guys for anybody that thinks we're just a bunch of goofs. Yeah, that's One Love DTube. And we've been here since the beginning and we don't give up. How are you doing today, Anime? Open this up to a little free-for-all chat.
Yeah, I'm
having issues, are you? Here, let me see.
Fucked up connection right now. Yeah, I do.
Are we offline?
Turn the bits down a bit.
Oh, there we go. I can hear you now.
You're good?
Yep.
Good. I just turned the bits down to 24 bits. That seemed to help a little bit.
That's good. So yeah.
Are we offline?
My day.
Not yet. I figured I'd leave it while we chat a little bit. Do you want us to go offline?
I mean, rather than
Yeah, so it's pretty late over here. It's like 10 p.m.
All right, guys. Well, let's call it there. I already said the goodbyes, so we could wave. Here we got Koala there. I'll bring Koala. He could wave with me. Bye, guys. Remember, next week, same time, same place. We talk DTube Dev, Hive Dev, Steam Dev, whatever the fuck Dev. We try get the user in contact with the developer for feedback, and vice versa, the user in contact with the developer for feedback. Either way. Peace out, guys.
Sensei. Peace out.